Hey y'all, how you guys doing? So it is Saturday night. It is 9:17 p.m. Don't ask me why I'm doing this right now, but I didn't get to do this yesterday. So I am going to slice up these oranges. I just have about 6 oranges from our tree outside. We're coming to the end of the harvest. One of my dearest friends loves dehydrated orange slices. I gave some to her a few months back. She puts it in her water and her tea, so I'm going to slice them up and get them on the dehydrating trays. So I have 2 dehydrators. I have an Excalibur 5 tray and a Liquip, which is I think a 6 tray. And the Excalibur, both of which actually I got secondhand and offer up. So you don't have to pay full price. If you take some time and look around, check OfferUp, check Craigslist, check Goodwill, Salvation Army, secondhand stores, but it doesn't have to be super expensive. And these are free oranges from the backyard, so it works out great. And I get to bless a friend and give her a little addition to her Christmas present. So come along with me and let's get this done. So I've got my mandolin, and unfortunately, we just moved here, my mom and I, about a month ago. And so things are still in boxes. And I found the mandolin, but I did not find the hand guard. So that's going to be the issue. So I'm not going to slice these all the way to the bottom because I want to save my fingers. So we'll start slicing them up and then probably leave the end tips that I'll try to just cut off via knife. Some of them obviously are not perfect, so we won't be dehydrating the end of this one. So one thing is I try to use as few things as possible, so like there's no need to dirty up a bunch of different things. So I've got the dehydrated trays, and I just put a towel underneath, a kitchen towel, so I don't get juice all over the countertops. So yeah, this one is really cool. I love this one. I also got it secondhand, but you can adjust the thickness. So there's different measurements on the sides there. So just push in, and you can either slice or julienne. So let's go with 1/6. It's not the safest thing, but I usually just put my finger down to see how thick it's gonna be. Let's try this one out and see if this is the thickness that we want. Now that I think is a little bit too thin, so I'm gonna make it a little thicker. Let's see. Yeah, this works. Perfect. And they're so pretty. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love it. And it's so funny because sometimes I actually was going to get rid of some of my dehydrated items because it was like, a little over a year, almost 2 years that I had them. And I knew I wasn't going to finish all of them. And so when my friend came over to help me pack out of my old apartment, she was like, oh my gosh, can I have these? And so she actually was here on Sunday after church. We hung out a bit, and I was telling her, I've got to take up the rest of the oranges off the tree, and I gave some to pastors, gave some to friends. Obviously, we ate some here. And I was telling her, I'm going to juice them. I'm going to juice a bunch of them and just freeze the juice in like portions for different baked goods that I'd seen online. And she's like, oh, you could also dehydrate some. So I was like, hey, why don't I do that? Why don't I dehydrate them and give it to her for Christmas? So I'm going to leave the rest of this. I'm not going to do the rest because you could see it gets a bit thicker. There's way more pith here because of the damage on the other side. So anyway, all that to say, I have decided, yes, I will dehydrate them for her and give it to her along with her other Christmas presents. But it's really cool to be able to just bless my friends, bless my loved ones, and do it with things on the homestead because I now have a homestead, which is really the coolest thing ever. I'm definitely a city girl, born and raised in a city. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, my family and I, growing up in Brooklyn. So living in the burbs is super different, but also a real blessing. So yeah, my Excalibur is a 5-tray. My dream is like the 9-tray Excalibur, maybe one day. But for right now, the 5-tray suits me just fine. You know, I hope that this summer the garden produces so much that my 2 dehydrators just aren't enough. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. So this morning, no, yesterday. No, this morning. This morning I juiced a bunch of oranges and put 3 bags worth in the freezer. One was 3/4 cup for some orange bread. Another was enough for orange muffins, and then I had like 2/3 of a cup left over that I may use for either pancakes or maybe orange waffles, who knows. If you notice a trend, I really like sweet stuff, so I've got a major sweet tooth. So yeah, if you've got any other ideas, any other recipes for orange juice, please let me know. All right. So I think this is enough for the first tray. Let me see if I can fit this one here. Awesome. All right, so this tray will hold 2 entire oranges. I've got 4 oranges left. No, yeah, 4 left. So 2, 4, 6. I'll probably get 3 trays worth. I'll set these in the dehydrator, and then, isn't it pretty? It's like a tray of sunshine. Love it. I'm gonna put it in the dehydrator, and then tomorrow I'll go and pick up a few more oranges from the tree, and fill up the rest of the trays, because I do like running the dehydrator with all 5 trays full of stuff. No need to waste any space. So we'll come back at the end. Hey all, so we've got 3 trays. Feeling good about it. You'll notice a few of them I cut in half. Some of them were just too big, and so I was concerned that they wouldn't fit in the mason jars after the fact. So I'm going to take these into the garage. The garage is where I currently have, sorry, I was crooked, where I currently have the dehydrator. So I'm going to take these 3 trays in. Tomorrow morning I will pick a few more oranges off the tree and slice those and dehydrate them as well. I'm going to cook them low and slow. So I found that if you dehydrate them for too high a temperature, they get really dark in color, and I want them to keep as much as the orange as possible. So I'll probably do like 120, 125. 135 is for fruits, 125 is for vegetables. But I'll probably keep it around that 125 range. You can do it a little lower. The thing that you run the risk of is molding, because if it takes too long to dehydrate, there's a risk of mold developing. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to do 120, 125-ish. So let's go into the garage. All right, y'all. So we've got our 3 trays. And what I did was I actually washed the trays today. I'll be posting a short video on that. Maybe a bit of a unique technique. I use the tub, so I wash them in the bathtub. But I washed the trays today, and what I learned from a few folks on YouTube, one being Darcy, who does a whole lot of dehydrating, is that when you wash the trays, I just put them in the dehydrator, and I had them drying in there. So I had it running. So currently we're at 125. I'm going to keep it there. And the great thing with the Excalibur is this little menu that lets you know all the different temperatures. So herbs 95, living foods 105, raising bread so you can proof your bread dough 110, making yogurt 115, vegetables 125, fruit rolls 135, meats, fish 155, and jerky 155. So it makes it really easy. You don't have to think about it. If you forget, you just look at the chart. So this is going to run, it's most likely going to take 24 hours, possibly a little more. We'll see. We're not going to get any rain until Monday, so hopefully it'll be done by Monday morning, because once rain comes, the humidity is going to be a factor. So I'll probably have to bring the dehydrator into the house at that point. So I will keep you posted, and I'll post at the end of the video the after, and me just getting everything prepped and put into mason jars for my friend's Christmas present. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Hey all, I'm tired. If you can't tell by my eyes, it is Tuesday evening, 10:43. So just got back from the city. I have a class I go to on Tuesdays, and so it took me an hour to drive back. Long story short, the oranges are dehydrated, and I did not want to have the dehydrator going all night for no good reason. So we've got 5 trays of dehydrated orange slices. Are they not beautiful? So what I found to be the secret is not putting the temperature too high. So I did 125, and it took 2 days, really, because we got rain earlier than expected. So thought it was going to rain on Monday, it rained on Sunday. So Sunday and Monday rained. So it actually took more than 2 days. And I just took them out now, so they are cooling off. Well, now they're cool to the touch. When you touch them, they are solid. If you squeeze, there's no liquid. It's just basically, you could feel the give, like it kind of pulverizes under the pressure. And you hear the snap. It is good. So I'm going to get some mason jars. One jar is going to go to my friend. I'm going to give her a quart full, and then the other jar is going to go in the pantry. So hold tight, be right back. All right, so I haven't unpacked everything. So what I have in the kitchen is a bunch of pint-sized jars and 1/2 gallon jar. So this is what we're going to use. Tomorrow I'll separate things into different jars, but for right now I need to get this done. I need to go to bed. So I'm so tired. So I'm gonna pack it up in here, and then I'll pull out some of my quart-sized jars and do that tomorrow. So literally, it's not rocket science. Pick up orange slices, put them in the jar. Let me just move the camera over a little bit. And for these, I deliberately, for some of them, cut them in half in advance, because I was afraid that they wouldn't fit in the lid. And you could see I didn't do one of them, and it definitely will not be fitting. So these will fit this one. Let's break it in half. And that's when you know that it's good, right? That when it's dry, they break super easily. They're very brittle. You don't want these to be damp or moist or anything, because then that means it's not fully dry and you'll have mold problems. Now, something I want to do, the majority of these, like I said, a quart worth is going to go to my friend for Christmas. One of 2 Christmas presents for her, actually. And then some of them I'm going to use as like potpourri bundles. So I honestly don't know whose Instagram page it was on, but I did see on Instagram someone take these orange slices, dehydrated orange slices, cinnamon sticks. Let me see if I remember. It was dehydrated orange slices, cinnamon sticks, rosemary. It was rosemary and something else that I'm not remembering. Oh, and cranberry. And they put them into jars and gifted them as like a potpourri bundle. But what you do with it basically is put it in a pot with water and boil it. And so it makes your house smell really nice. So it's like great for the holidays because, all those kinds of smells bring up the holidays for a lot of people. So I'm thinking to do that for at least a few of my pastors. So we'll see if I get to it, honestly, because it's almost Christmas and I'm not ready. I'm not ready. There are so many things to do. So we'll see if it happens. I don't think that all of these are going to fit in one mason jar. So I'm most likely going to have to go searching tonight. I did these ends, but these ends there's not much on them. So I might just put those in vinegar. And I'll do a video as well with all of the different things I've done with the orange slices, because there are so many uses beyond just, water, putting in your cup of water, or putting it in tea. There's a lot that you can do with them. So I will do that. Keep an eye out for that video. It's coming. Yeah, definitely going to run out of space, but there's worse problems to have. What I might do, let's see. These last two, no. It does make sense for me to go and get another jar, because if I put these in pint-sized jars, I'll have 1,000,001 pint-sized jars. So I will go out to the garage and see what I can find. Okay, these fit. And then, one thing that's great with the half slices is that you can kind of fit them in the cracks. I could have probably done a little bit of a better job, but it is what it is. I'm looking for some smaller ones. So there's room on this side. Just scoot this one over a little bit, this slice over. There we go. And put these down that way. It's a bit like Tetris. All right, this got broken up. You'll notice some of them got stuck to the trays, but it's all right. So I've got one more tray. No, lies. 2 more trays. So this pile of ends over here is going to be for vinegar. And yeah, we've got 2 trays, so I'm going to need another jar, definitely. All right, so I will be back. But here is the close-up. It's literally a jar of sunshine. I absolutely love it. It makes me so happy. So I'll be right back with another jar. Hey y'all, so you can tell I'm tired because I already started packing the jar. I forgot to press record. So let's finish up. Super simple. Only got a few left. And also be careful if you do this, because let me just move over a little bit. Some of these are really sharp, like the edges for the ones that I cut in half. And I definitely have pricked myself multiple times. So not pleasant. So note to self in the future. Some of these oranges have pointy ends. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. And honestly, I did not go in the garage to get a jar. I had a jar of some pineapple, dehydrated pineapple, and it was like maybe this much of the jar. And so I just put it into, let me show you. squish them into this pint jar. And I've got a little bit that didn't fit in there, so I'm gonna have it for a midnight snack. So we've got room. I'm going to take the ends that I mentioned earlier, just toss them on the top, because like literally it's just the ends of the oranges. I'll be putting them in vinegar. Put the cap on. I need to get a lid for the second jar. And so here we go. We've got 2 half gallons, almost full. So yeah, a gallon of dehydrated sliced oranges to be used for tea, for water. You could put them on fish if you're going to poach some fish. You could just put them on some fish fillets, wrap them in an aluminum foil, put them in the oven. If you don't have oranges around or lemons around, you can do this with lemons as well. So, so many uses. The ends are going to go in vinegar to make orange scented vinegar to clean the house with. And I'll share a few more things that I ended up doing with them too. So keep an eye out in the coming weeks, most likely in the new year, with all of the different things I've done using the oranges from our tree. This is our first harvest, our first year here. Really, we've only been here for 2 months. So perfect timing. Moved in and got an orange harvest. We have a lemon tree as well that is ripening slowly but surely. So videos on lemons will be coming too. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been really great. These are free. Like, it was just my time and effort, a little bit of electricity, but 100% free, which is a real blessing to have fruit trees here on my urban homestead. Because if you have fruit trees, you always have food. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for hanging out. And please let me know in the comments if you're gonna do this, if you have already, and any ideas that you have for using some of these dehydrated orange slices. All right, talk to you all later. Bye.